9 News at Noon starts right now.
We start with a breaking news update. The Broncos have taken another step forward in their plans to build a new Broncos stadium. Thanks for joining us. I'm Sam Shocker. So today, the team submitted their large development review pre-application to the city and county of Denver. This is the latest development following the Broncos' decision to name Burnham Yard as its preferred stadium site. Today's pre-application identifies how the stadium and surrounding community development could take shape. Our Broncos insider Mike Kliss broke this story and has some early insight into where exactly the team is thinking of placing the future stadium.
They're going to put the stadium on the west side of Burnham Yard. That's away from the neighborhood. That's as far away from the neighborhoods in that area as they can. There's going to be a green belt in the area, I'm told. I talked to Damani Leach, the Broncos president. He filled me in on a lot of these details.
Submitted application is purely conceptual, so there could still be some changes. So stick with 9 News for more details later today on air and online at 9news.com. Infrastructure improvements at Burnham Yard are part of the vibrant Denver bond measures that passed last night. Mayor Johnson spoke this morning expressing his relief and excitement about what's to come over the next 6 years. More than 60% of voters showed their support for the $950 million bond package. Mayor Johnson had been pushing it. Among the other nearly 90 projects this bond package funds are a new police and fire training center, a health center in Sun Valley, and buying land or buildings for affordable housing.
We're going to stay focused on making sure that while all these projects will be done in 6 years, every one of these projects will move in 2026, whether that is to design phase, whether that's to breaking ground, whether that's to first steps of construction.
Mayor Johnson says there will be a dashboard for people to follow the projects, and we'll have more from the mayor later today on 9 News. Well, 2 other issues on the ballot also passed, including one that allows Colorado students to continue to eat free at schools. But what about the flavored tobacco ban? 9 News reporter Lauren Scafidi sums it all up for us.
Let's start with school lunches. Prop LL and MM both have the green light, which means Colorado will fund school lunches for all students, but it's a little bit more complicated than that. Prop LL is a yes with about 80% of the votes, more than 70% yes votes for Prop MM as well. Prop LL basically asks voters to fix an error. The state took in too much money with the tax change, and Prop LL asked permission to keep that money for healthy school meals for all. And for Prop MM, passing it means taxes will go up for people making more than $300,000 for school meals. It also allows money from the new taxes to help pay for SNAP food assistance for low-income families. Referendum 310 was also a big one, flavored tobacco products. Denver City Council banned selling them less than a year ago, and last night, Denver voters showed their support. More than 70% of people voted to keep that ban in place. For the latest election results that matter to you, head to 9news.com. In the newsroom, Lauren Scafidi, 9 News.
And a big surprise is unfolding in Aurora right now, where Republican candidates trail in every race. 2 Democrats are currently beating City Councilwoman Danielle Jurinsky in Aurora's at-large council race. Aurora's council races are not elected by party, but it's clear who is a Republican and who is a Democrat. This could shift Aurora Council back into a liberal-leaning council that will still have to work with Republican Mike Kaufman as mayor. It is day 36, and the government shutdown is now officially the longest in U.S. history. Talks between leaders of both parties have been picking up, but there's been nervousness after President Trump said he wouldn't issue SNAP funding until the shutdown ends. In addition, as NBC's Garrett Hake reports, there's a warning about shutting down U.S. airspace because of short-staffed airports.
It's a record no one wanted to break. Now, 36 days in, the shutdown standoff is officially the longest in history. As the partisan gridlock continues in Washington, long lines and delays piling up at airports across the country, prompting this dire warning from the transportation secretary if the stalemate lasts into next week.
You will see mass flight delays, you'll see mass cancellations, and you may see us close certain parts of the airspace because we just cannot manage it because we don't have the air traffic controllers.
Secretary Duffy says staffing shortages in control towers accounted for nearly half of the flight delays Monday, as air traffic controllers and TSA workers continued to work without a paycheck. There's also new uncertainty this morning for millions of Americans who rely on federal food assistance, with long lines also growing at food banks nationwide.
Yeah, I was making it off my stamps. but they're not available anymore.
No.
It comes after President Trump posted Tuesday that SNAP benefits, quote, will be given only when the radical left Democrats open the government and not before.
They really are using hunger as a political weapon.
Still, the White House says it's complying with a federal court order to use emergency funds to keep the program up and running, suggesting the president was referring to future payments.
We're complying with the court's order and we're getting that partial payment out the door as much as we can and as quickly as we can, but it's going to take some time.
While in Congress, Democrats holding out for concessions from Republicans on health care, saying premiums for those on Obamacare are expected to skyrocket. Both sides pointing fingers.
I'm hopeful again that this is the week in which the Democrats will conclude that this is not a good thing.
So far, they have come to the table to negotiate exactly 0 time.
A federal judge has ordered prosecutors in the criminal case against former FBI Director James Comey to produce materials from the investigation by the end of tomorrow. The judge went on to say he's concerned the Justice Department's position had been to indict first and investigate later. Comey is charged with lying to Congress in a case filed after President Trump appeared to urge his attorney general to prosecute him. Well, look at that. Another day close to 70 degrees for all of us, but more fall appropriate temps are supposedly on the way. So let's send it on over to senior meteorologist Chris Bianchi with our Weather Impact team.
Hey, Sam. Yeah, so beautiful, such beautiful weather for us right now. Outside, sunny skies for us in Lamar and over the eastern plains, the I-25 corridor. I-70 corridor looking quiet for us as well. May change a little bit tomorrow night there in the I-70 corridor, but look at that. 70 degrees already for us out at the airport. Very warm day for us, no doubt about it. 50s, 60s for the most part over the state, though we do have that 70-degree reading out at the airport. And this is even behind the cool down after yesterday's cold front that moved through late last night. We've got temperatures that are down about 10 to 20 degrees for us across the eastern plains. Didn't really affect the high country for us. Radar, quiet right now. Next few hours, temperatures sparkling in the 60s. So if you've got outdoor plans, keep them, and if you don't have them, make them. Move that happy hour, move that dog walk, all that sort of thing. Well, I don't know what dog walks are indoors, but move those plans outdoors for today. Sunshine, upper 60s to around 70 degrees for us. A little bit breezy at times for us, but that wind picks up tomorrow, and those temperatures cool down for the end of the week. I'll show you when in my full forecast in just a few minutes.
The man accused of attacking people in Boulder during a peaceful march has pleaded not guilty, and his case will go to trial next summer. Mohammed Suleiman appeared before a Boulder judge this morning on his state charges, including murder. Investigators say he threw Molotov cocktails at people back in June who were marching for the release of Jewish hostages in Gaza. One of the victims, who was severely burned, died a few weeks later in the hospital. More than a dozen others were injured. Jury selection for his trial will begin July 10th, and the trial could take up to 2 weeks.
The victims want this to go to trial as soon as possible. They want justice to be done for the victims, their families, and for this community. And we're going to make sure that we support them every step of the way.
And in the meantime, Suleiman also faces federal charges and is scheduled to go to trial on the federal level in June. An investigation is underway into a deadly shooting inside a motel in Westminster late last night. Police say they were called just after 10 to 120th Avenue and Melody Drive and found a man who had been shot. He later died at the hospital. Police say the investigation shows the victim and another man got into a fight that led to the shooting, and that man was initially taken into custody but was released after questioning. The continued investigation will help detectives determine if there should be charges.